Now coming up, we've got the Fab Five, and we're going to debate who's going to win Best Actress at the Oscars. I think Brady, did himself a lot of favors with the speech at the Golden Globes talking about his narrative. And I think about people who own their narrative. We've got Demi Moore for Best Actress. Suddenly we've got a narrative, she's telling a story, and suddenly we have a front runner for Best Actress. Something I don't think anyone on the screen would have predicted when this movie came out. So she's got some competition in the race. We've got Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Karla Sofía Gascón for Emilia Pérez, Mikey Madison for Anora, and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. Pete, why don't you kick us off with this one? Who's your front runner and who's your spoiler?
I think Demi is the front runner. I think, that was the perfect use of the Golden Globes, the perfect use. And she established it and she took it away. All she had to do was win that Globe to do that, and then she fulfilled it. And so I would be surprised if she doesn't carry this all the way through SAG and as well. So yeah, Demi Moore. If I had to go with the second one, though, it would be Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here, your other Golden Globe winner, who I think gave such a powerful performance that I'm now beginning to believe many of these Academy members have actually seen. And the key is for somebody like that to be seen. And it's a very political movie. It's an interesting thing, but she just dominates. She's an incredible actress. And I saw her recently on Jimmy Kimmel, and she was great. Really good guest there and talking about everything. And so if she carries that up and campaigns and does her thing, I'd look out for her.
And what do you think?
I agree that Demi Moore delivered the speech of a lifetime and has never, this is her first chance at an award of any kind. It's a narrative that the actors cannot resist. And she also, the story she's telling in The Substance is a story that actors understand. And that's why she's going to win it handily. I really have no question about that. I think Fernanda Torres is the one with momentum. And she's got a narrative too. She's got her mother. And I think that I'm Still Here, the fact that Central Station was in the Oscars, that her mother was on, the stage at the Globes, all of that is really part of her narrative. They're both in the movie together. And that movie is going to be, as Pete says, seen by even more people between now and balloting time.
Clayton?
Demi Moore, however, again, today, let me say this: if Demi Moore sweeps, meaning she wins SAG and BAFTA, and CCA, then no matter what Torres does, I don't think she can do it. That would be hard to beat. Torres can win if this gets really messy this season, which has potential to do. I'm Still Here, getting in picture, which I called for 2 weeks and then changed at the last minute. Moral of the story: don't change your predictions anymore after voting closes. But Fernanda, the precedent, the road for her is Marcia Gay Harden and Pollock. Literally, same studio, by the way, that ran that campaign did Pollock. Now, granted, she doesn't have SAG or BAFTA. This is what hurts. Sorry, we're not going to see her again until
I don't think
Oscar
she was
day.
eligible for BAFTA.
She was. Fernanda was eligible. She didn't make the long list, which is what makes it even wilder. Because I think people just get to international films late. And I think the Globes show that they matter, because that speech, her winning the Globe, really got people to watch that movie. And I think if it gets a little messy and we start jumping, because Cynthia has a really good shot of winning SAG. That Cynthia's probably, and could potentially win BAFTA. Mikey Madison could win CCA. So if it gets a little messy, then I think there's a road for Torres to upset. But I think it's between Torres, Moore, and Cynthia in the end.
Scott, what do you think?
I'm going to disagree. Now, let me first say I thought that I'm Still Here is terrific, and she's amazing, and it is a cool story 25 years after her mother and all of that. But I think some of you guys are spending too much time on film Twitter, because I get that somehow there's this army of Torres maniacs there, and God bless them. But I think that it's to me, it's a likelier scenario that if it's not Demi Moore, and I do think it will be, but if it's not, I think it would be Mikey Madison. And it's the ingenue Audrey Hepburn, new person on the scene who is the center of a movie that's also a Best Picture nominee. Like all of them are from Best Picture nominees in that category. But I think that there's the discovery, excitement of a discovery there, and I don't think half the people are a lot of the people are still catching up to I'm Still Here. Maybe that'll, she'll win over some more people, but I just don't think that, again, the same way like film Twitter cannot understand how Emilia Perez could possibly have this many, like it's
So again, let me just add here. I think you have valid points, and yes, that's why I think we all recognize on paper Demi Moore is the front runner. But the Best Picture nomination for I'm Still Here is really what propelled. Like if it was just Fernanda isolated, then I would be like, there's no way, she's just happy to be there. The fact that the movie got in, I think, shows that I think probably more so the actors branch is what got the movie in. That they are the ones that like really came through for that movie. And that's why I think the road for Fernanda is only if Demi Moore sweeping, because the narrative, because there's a lot of people who don't like the substance, but are still voting for Demi Moore because the story's too great. Narratives work. So she's going to be hard to beat. But I think if everyone's getting a little bit of this, a little bit of that, I just think on that night, as people now are discovering, we call Mikey Madison a discovery. And I know Fernanda's 59 years old, but she's a discovery for everyone here in America who has never seen a Fernanda Torres performance. She is a discovery for a lot of those people. I think she poses a real threat. I'm not saying it's likely at the moment, but it's not impossible. And I'd say that we are due for a Marcia Gay Harden. I mean, even Regina King and Christoph Waltz won without SAG, and Regina missed BAFTA as well, and so was able to win. Granted, all supporting performances, lead is different, but I'd say it's not out of the realm.
Just one last quick thing on that is, and sorry, Ann, I'll be really quick. I just want to say that keep in mind all this emphasis we're putting on the Golden Globes result there for Fernanda Torres. 300 people who are journalists, no overlap with the Academy, and she did not. All four of the other people who are now Oscar nominated against Fernanda Torres were in the other category. So I just don't want to overstate the significance of the Golden Globe win. It was great, and I'm happy she got recognized because she deserves it, but it doesn't necessarily, to me,
no, I think the lesson from the Globes is about narrative, and I think to me the message is about narrative, and I think probably the strongest takeaway
It's about a showcase.
I think what
Demi did won was all that she needed to do.
Exactly, she won and she gave a great speech,
and then that goes viral and everything. But I was also going to add that I'm Still Here functions in another arena, which is that it's very scary for us during these turbulent political times. Enough said.
Right.
Good point. Yeah. Very good point.
And by the way, the international voting bloc, like the same group that got Anthony Hopkins over the line past Chadwick Boseman, I think are going to vote for her.
So I'm just saying, just for the sake of argument, though, Clayton, for that same reason, why are none of us talking about Karla Sofia Gascon?
I was just going to bring that up as the final point. I mean,
and that's the lead actress in the lead
right.
Lead actress making history.
Although a lot of people think the lead actress is Zoe Saldana too, but
they can vote for her in a different category.
Yeah.
So here we've got.
I mean, listen. I guess the Trump effect can be real, but
it is real. We saw it in the nominations.
It is real. We saw.
Congratulations, Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, and Sebastian Stan as well. But like even now, listen, trans and LGBTQ issues were a big topic at the forefront of the election. And we've spoken to a lot of these Academy members, and there's always that small pocket that are monsters that would never vote for Karla. And, maybe she's in the realm of possibility, sure, maybe. But like, for me, I think of the lineup, I think she's the least likely to win at the moment. But I think she'd be the least.
Yeah, I think her win is the nomination. I absolutely do. And I think the LGBTQ plus factor is going to continue as this administration unfortunately continues, and the hate comes out, and it will factor into movies. Maybe movies being sold, like one I just reviewed out of Sundance yesterday called Jim Paw, with John Lithgow giving the performance of the last 40 years of his career, I think, as a gay grandfather here, with a trans binary granddaughter, and Olivia Colman being in the middle of that family story about a queer family and growing up that way. He's great, and that'll be a factor. And and I think this will continue. But this year, I think The Statement is the nomination, and I don't think, and for the movie itself, but I don't think she will.
Yeah. And Deb, let me
I'm just going to wrap us there. Thank you, everyone.
I was like, Deb, let me just give you this fact to close on. First
Sure.
time since 1977, all the actress nominees are from Best Picture nominees.
Excellent. Thank you, everyone.